Yeah, well, let me start by saying I am not anti-vaccine. People call me anti-vaccine because it's a way of discrediting me or marginalizing me.
Yes.
But I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I want to have safe vaccines. I want vaccines that are tested the way that other medical products have to be tested. Vaccines are the only medical product that are exempt from safety testing. There's a long history of medical racism. All of the researchers told them to get all of their information on the black boys, bring them to a conference room in CDC headquarters in Atlanta. And they did so, and when they walked through the conference room, they saw 4 big blue garbage cans there. And they were ordered to destroy all the data in those garbage cans. People with African blood react differently to vaccines than people Caucasian blood. They're much more sensitive to antigens. They need half the antigen that a Caucasian needs, and yet it's a one-size-fits-all program. Maybe that some Africans could benefit from vaccines, but it's clearly true that African Americans are disproportionately injured by vaccines, and again, people need to do their own research.
Greetings upon greetings upon greetings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Let me get
Hold on. Are we
comfortable.
off? We always have to do a readjust. So we're just going to do a readjust.
Yeah,
here.
man.
In
Come
every
closer,
way
yes.
possible.
Come
Let's
closer.
do a
I mean.
readjust.
Don't
There we
fret.
go. Oh, black and white. Look at that. We're contrasting. Contrasting. We're blending.
Much better.
Welcome, everybody, to A Better Tomorrow. Friday, July 31st. Oh, my goodness, guys. We're 7 months into 2020.
Summer's done.
Did anyone think stop?
Summer's done. Everybody knows. By the way, happy Caribana.
Well,
Happy
we're
Eid,
going to talk about that.
right?
Yeah, Eid.
Right,
Eid
right.
is tomorrow.
Right. Happy Emancipation Day.
Happy Emancipation Day. Yes,
Right.
that's right. There's a
Right.
lot happening this weekend.
Uh-huh.
But
But summer's done.
Summer's done.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Everybody knows that after a civic holiday,
It gets cold. It's like the
Fall.
Monday. It's fall. Everyone's like, oh my God, the temperature's dropping. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to admit it. But
There you
yeah,
go.
it kind of is. So despite that, if you're living in the Northern Hemisphere, that's like first world problems. Definitely that interview. What did you think about that? So you guys, that is going to be actually one of our junior writers has decided to tackle this. She wasn't here for the interview, but she has watched the interview. And she's going to be writing. She's going to be doing a little bit of research and writing and doing our cover article for next edition, the August 5th edition of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. But I definitely say you guys need to check out this interview. Like, this man is...
he's knowledgeable, right? I mean,
yeah.
he's in the position that where he needs to be, and we're speaking of course, Robert Kennedy
Yes.
Jr.
Thank
right?
you again.
RFK.
Thank you again.
Right? Very knowledgeable. I mean, you know, he's been on the front lines for something like this for a very long time.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, anybody who should be speaking and align themselves in regards to, I guess, other companies who are backing, of course, the research which he has done, and by means, you know, he should definitely be at the forefront.
It's funny because I'm looking at the comments that have come in about him, and they're either really positive or really negative. They're so polarized. There's nothing. So he's a very polarizing figure. For sure.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. There's like, everyone's like, we love him. They're like, this guy's a kook. His whole family hates him. Like, it's it's like one or the other. So definitely, again, Janice, good for you for taking on the challenge. I'm very excited to read your article. I'm looking forward to it. And don't forget to pick up a copy next week. And the video is going to be online. You're going to be able to see the video as well. So that's another really cool thing.
Yeah, really cool interview.
You know, so big up yourself, Grant Browning. He's learning all type of like tricks and things to make things interesting for us. You know, making the news entertaining.
There you go.
Good. Okay, so I want to thank also, because I want to make sure that we're always honoring all of our writers who take their time every 2 weeks. They do this. This is their way of giving back to the community. You know, no one gets paid for it. They write and contribute information. So I want to thank all of you guys for that. And for some of the people we don't even know are behind the scenes. So for our show, Miss Jericho Went. She helps sometimes gather a lot of our information, gives us story ideas. She's very silent in what she does, but she needs to be honored. And Mr. Harishi, he's our food blogger for the paper. So you'll find a lot of his stuff on Instagram. And what he does for us is he goes out and takes pictures of food, pretty food, and tells us where to go eat it, pretty much.
Yeah, big up to, of course, your contributions, your added information, your of course your skill sets are definitely needed.
Is your article in?
Is yours? Should we start? Did you want to start?
Okay.
All right.
So let's start. Wow. I couldn't even do anything with that one because no, it's not. Okay.
Right.
So we'll start with some news. It's not the greatest news, but you know what? In all that's going on, we sometimes need to understand that there are sometimes even more dreadful things that are going on or have already happened, which in the case of Sudan, Sudan's public prosecutor confirmed last Thursday, and that's July 23rd, that a mass grave was discovered which contained the dead bodies of 28 Sudanese army officers. The mass grave was uncovered not far from Sudan's capital city of, and you have to make sure, you might have to connect me here, Dave, Khartoum.
Very nice.
Yes! I think it's coming back. I think as I sleep, I'm like downloading all African languages.
There you go. Excellent.
It's probably the only word I get right
Probably.
for the rest of this thing. But. So the Sudanese officers are believed to have been killed in 1990 under the direct order of Omar al-Bashir, Sudan's unstead president. So the officers were executed and buried in a formerly top secret site following a rapid military trial which took place after al-Bashir seized power in 1989.
Yeah,
he's a serious man, this man. He all has a nickname. We'll get there. So the public prosecutor managed to find a mass grave that data indicates is most likely the graveyard where the bodies of the officers were killed and buried in a very brutal manner. So they don't have to give details to know what that means. Like, think about the most hideous thing when it comes. I'm probably thinking decapitations and things like that, right?
I would
That's
definitely
brutal.
agree.
That's considered brutal.
Right.
Right? So 23 field experts worked for 3 weeks at the site where the mass grave was discovered, and Sudan's public prosecutor also stated that additional investigative and forensic procedures would be undertaken regarding the case in the near future. So they're going to be looking into this a little bit more. The families of these officers obviously are the reason why. Okay, these people want these crimes brought to justice. Like, so they want to go after Mr. Bashir.
Yeah, that would explain it. I mean,
Right.
you know, when you're looking at, of course, coup, right, and then, you know, one people or a set of people coming into power, ousting another set of people, right?
Killing them off.
I mean, it is a lot of power, you know, and for those who are aware of Robert Greene, of course, you destroy your enemies.
Completely
Totally.
annihilate them. You cannot
Right.
let them. No, yeah, I get
But
it.
also, of course, we're looking at tribalism, right?
So he's 76 though. It's like, what are you gonna do to a 76? He's done. Life already, like, he's lived it.
Well,
Really,
who knows?
like, but he made a court appearance last Tuesday at a hearing where his trial was scheduled to begin. So the once feared dictator faces charges related to the forceful 1989 coup that began his 30-year reign of terror in Sudan. So al-Bashir was known as the Butcher of Khartoum. So he faces the death penalty in a Sudanese court if he's convicted of these crimes. April 2019, he was actually ejected. So this is where they initially got rid of him after months of unrelenting protests.
Yeah.
So Sudan's public prosecutor has questioned and deposed the president about the 28 dead officers, but no word has been heard from al-Bashir's attorneys. So everyone tight-lipped. So they have questions for him, and no one's answering these questions. Everyone's trying, I'm guessing, form some type of story. But what story can you form? We'll see. In June 2020, there was another mass grave. So this man was just going off, killing off people, it seems like. There was another one found in Sudan, and these bodies were found just east of Khartoum at a separate burial site.
Okay.
So authorities believe that the bodies were those of dead Sudanese students who were killed in 1998. Allegedly, these students were brutally murdered after trying to abandon their military duty at the Sudanese army training camp. So this old man is about to face some serious crimes.
Oh, you know, there's a reason why they call him the Butcher,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Basically, I guess the lesson out of this is all your bones will come out eventually. I don't know. Is that wrong? Is it too soon?
I'm going to remain tight-lipped.
I'm
like
just
his,
saying.
Like his attorneys.
Okay, I'm just saying though, like, if you have bones in your closet, this guy literally had bones in his closet.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
they do come out. Everything you do comes to light eventually. Like, you don't die. You can't die with all your secrets. So,
There you go.
brethren, yagapia. So when we come back, we'll be talking about an issue that is actually very important for, I think, everyone in the world. This is an international thing. You know, like, all of our students, if they haven't started back, are going to be going back to school. And really and truly, a lot of parents are not prepared, and a lot of parents aren't happy.
Yeah.
We'll discuss why in the next edition of A Better Tomorrow edition,
There you go.
because this is a newspaper
It's all right.
segment.
We'll
guys.
see you guys after the break.
Yeah.
We're back.
Welcome, guys. Didn't we talk about this like fancy comeback?
Yeah,
Grant?
not even a countdown or nothing, you know, Reggie.
Let's try this again.
All right. There we go.
Welcome back, guys. Sometimes I don't know, like, welcome back. Happy
sure.
Friday. Welcome
Yes.
to a better tomorrow.
Happy Caravana.
We're gonna get there,
Emancipation.
but we'll talk about that next
Eid.
segment.
For
Eat
sure.
everything.
Everything.
Big up yourself, everybody.
All right.
Timing's so off. Before we go into this, timing seems so off. Like, do you realize it's true? There's a month countdown to school going back, and it doesn't even feel like it.
Yeah, they've really done a number on us.
Oh my God!
That's for sure.
Whoever decided to destroy the world, wow, did it. Goal accomplished. Jesus, I'll let you. Okay, we'll go into it.
Are you
I'm
sure?
fine now.
Yeah. Did you
So
wanna-
what's going on about school?
You sure you didn't want to let out anything else?
No, I'm done.
All
People
right,
are
cool.
pissed off about. Parents are not cool. Are not impressed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of us have heard it. For those who haven't, by means, Ontario now has set an actual plan to go ahead and reopen schools for the month of September.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the safe reopening of schools for in-class instruction, of course, as we mentioned, which should go ahead and begin on the exact day that we always known it to,
Open.
right? Was it the Tuesday right after Labor Day?
Yes.
Right, so by means that because parents can go ahead and look for. Actually, we'll jump the gun ahead a little bit on
Yeah,
this one
you're
right
too.
here.
You're too fast.
Don't worry. People, of course, that'll go ahead and make some sense afterwards. The government has unveiled a plan that prioritizes the health and safety of students, staff, and as well as provide school boards with unprecedented resources and flexibility. Now, what they're stating as unprecedented flexibility, right? This is where, of course, some parents, of course, some of teachers as well, right? I've went ahead and actually voiced their concern in regards to what's happening. All right, so elementary schools from kindergarten to grade 8 will go ahead and reopen province-wide. Secondary schools with lower risk will reopen with a normal daily schedule.
What's considered lower risk?
Hold on, because you know what? It's once again, right? They're looking at simply at areas that have already had the higher upticks or higher cases amounts,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And those without, by means, of course, you know what?
You guys are good to go?
They're good to go.
So like Milton and like all these areas outside of Toronto.
Well, we'll find out in a moment. That, in fact, that was what that picture was for.
Okay. The one
right?
that was jump the gun. Got it.
Cool. Where am I now? Yes. So while most secondary schools will start the school year in an adapted model of part-time attendance with class, and I like this word, cohorts, of up to 15 students alternating between attending in person and online. So some of this information, of course, is redundant. By means, we had mentioned this, a while back. In
Yeah.
regards to, of course, at the in class, outside of class, or online school learning, right?
Yes, yeah.
However, though, here's the ticker. Students from grade 4 to 12 and staff will be required to wear masks.
Everyone's wearing a mask in school this year.
Well, not everybody.
Everybody.
Kindergarten to grade 3,
You don't have to wear a mask.
no mask.
But if you're in grade 4 and up, you're sitting in a mask.
Mask.
All day
There you go.
for 6 hours. Day in and day out with a mask on your face.
All right, so they said that medical masks will be provided for teachers and all other staff. School will be implementing additional hand hygiene. So I guess, more of the sanitizers. Hopefully they'll have a couple more wash stations in schools as well. All right. They're supposed to be, of course, enhancing the rules in regards to social distancing and, other
There's no
supposedly
like
codes
gym.
of contact.
Yeah, there's no gym anymore.
No, I wouldn't even go far as to say that, because you know what? They are looking to go ahead and to actually resume school sports.
So we're gonna have our kids running up and down in masks. Wicked. Love this.
Right.
Keep going.
They say that they want to go ahead and limit the number of visitors who come into school, and as well there should be some sort of pre-registration for guests as well. Now, for those parents out there who do have children in high school, you want to go ahead and pay particularly attention to this. All right, so secondary schools in designated boards will open on an adapted model with class, again, the word cohorts. Tell you, they're writers.
Why? You don't like the word
Oh,
cohorts?
boy. Of approximately 15 students. So those students will attend class on alternate days and alternate schedules that would represent in-person attendance for at least 50% of the instructional days. Now, could we go back to that picture?
Yeah, let's leave this up because you guys need to know this.
All right.
Make
so
sure you check and see if you're in the designated area.
if you are currently in the following designating school boards, right, this means that what I've said just a while ago, this will go ahead and apply to you.
You don't need to say them all.
I'm not, but however,
Yeah.
though, Toronto, the Catholic School Board as well, different Peel, York, right, even as far as Niagara, Essex, and as well as Windsor. By means, once again, pay particular attention, of course, to the names which are on this list.
Because if you're not on the list,
Then you're good to go.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But if you are on this list, then you
You're-
really have to go ahead and plan on something, of
For
course.
your students,
Yes.
for your
For your
children.
children, if you are not self-employed, and of course you have to go and make sure you work out something with your employer as well.
Yes.
Because it's going to be a very trying time come September.
Just to figure it out, I think. I think if we can, and this is what we're going to help you do today. After Dave actually goes through the rest of this, we'll figure out. I'm going to give you some tools. We'll figure things out, guys. We'll do this together. Go ahead, Dave.
They say that parents will continue to have the option to enroll their children in remote delivery, meaning online, of course, classes, with respect to their fundamental role in making their final determination of whether they feel safe with their children returning to school. Right? Like I said, I mean, although on one hand, I mean, we can't keep the children home.
Because they're not doing nothing.
Exactly. Whatever they tried to do last few months before the school ended
Did not work.
was not working. Right. And now, of
No.
course, you know what? With everything happening now and then them attempting, I mean, who knows exactly what's going to happen from here and in. Right. With them stating, of course, regards to the second wave, I'm going to put this in rabbit ears, the second wave, so to speak. Right. For them saying, of course, going into stage 3, which opens today. Right. Them reporting, of course, new cases today. By means, it is scary for parents. Right. I'm scared. I'm actually, I'm a little fearful in regards to not even just the students, but in regards to the teaching staff.
So hold on a second. I need to track back a little bit. So they're saying the cases are going up,
Yes.
but they're opening third phase.
Yes.
Why?
I can't answer that question for you.
But I'm just saying.
Right.
And we're supposed to wear masks
Everywhere, including in your house.
that say that they do not stop. This is a serious situation.
Okay.
Masks that do not, it says on the box, cannot prevent any illnesses. So we have to wear these. The cases are going up and they're opening schools again.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, just want to make sure I was caught up.
Right.
All right. What else we got going on?
All right. So the government, they said that they're going to go ahead and provide a little bit over $300 million in targeted, immediate, and evidence-informed investments, including the following. $60 million in procurement of medical and cloth masks for students and staff.
We have a picture of the investments. Maybe people can look at it while we're talking about it.
Yeah, no worries.
No, that's the mask.
Stop it.
There's another one.
$30 million for teacher
There
staffing
it
to
is.
support supervision and keeping classes small and other safety-related measures. $50 million to hire up to 500 additional school-focused nurses in public health units to provide rapid responses. Let's see here, $23 million to provide testing. $75 million in funding to hire over 900 additional custodians, and as well as the purchasing of cleaning supplies. Right, you name it. By means, the rest of the list is right there. Once again, it's weird. It is weird. I mean, I'm not sure, guys, how hard of a decision did all the parties had to go ahead and come to something like this.
So what happens if a student does get COVID? Then what?
Oh boy! All right. So according to the website, which I got it from Ontario's website.
Okay.
The following. So according to the government, any student or staff member who develops COVID-19 symptoms will be immediately separated from others. Staff and parents will then be contacted by their health provider and be informed, of course, about the testing centers. So by means, at some point in time, they're going to have testing centers within the school. Right? People who
Yeah.
test positive for COVID-19 will not be allowed to return back to school until they are cleared. Anyone who tests negative can return to school once they are symptom-free for 24 hours. Schools will be required to immediately report any suspected or confirmed cases of COVID-19. Right? So, and oh yes, like I said before, the ticker, right? Organized sports and clubs have been given the green light to proceed if physical distancing can be maintained and equipment is cleaned regularly.
See how people are stupid? You see how people are stupid?
It's
How do...
Again, right? I'm not sure in regards to how they came up with decisions like this.
What sports can you... So what sport can you feel safe playing? Badminton?
Volleyball.
No. Because volleyball, you still have to be beside people, and you touch the ball.
It was a
and
joke.
you set. Okay,
It was a
because
joke.
I'm just saying.
Yes, I
So
know.
cases are going up.
Mm-hmm.
They're opening phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
Students are going back to school,
Mm-hmm.
and all the cases they're talking about seems to be amongst young people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're opening schools again.
Absolutely.
And then flu season's gonna come, and then they're gonna question about second wave.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they've already created the cesspool for the second wave. I'm just putting this out there for you guys to see. You presented all these things. I want to just make sure people are seeing it.
Yeah,
That's all.
I've said this quite a few times already. I thought we, as a people, would have had just a little bit more time to go ahead and ensure that we had certain steps in place, right? Like, for instance, creating our own school system or homeschooling systems, right?
Speaking of which, so let's jump into that topic really quickly. I want to go through just a quick list with you guys. I'm not going to bore you with it, but working with children like we do, we work with a lot of families in the community. And one thing that we have seen with students who are at the top of their game to students who need a little bit more support is that there is no structure. And because there is absolutely no structure in the homes, these students are suffering. And again, we're not going to see this now. A lot of these effects will come later on, because you have to understand during this time is where we, as teachers, as educators, as parents, have to be setting the tone of structure for our students. COVID has thrown a wrench in that a little bit, because it's kind of thrown everyone's structure out of the window. For the first half of this, many of us were just scrambling to make sense of it all. So education at that point for a lot of people is like, we just need to worry about eating right now and surviving.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, we have to rein it in and start taking responsibility, because remember, we always talk about them being our future. Do we want a future of unstructured children and leaders? Is this what we want? We've got to think about that. So, setting yourself up for school year success. This means, guys, parents, it starts with you. You have to start now. This is not the child's responsibility. This is your responsibility. You are the parent. You have to make this happen. Number one thing we have to start doing is getting your child into a routine. Simple things, guys. Start implementing a bedtime again. It means, you know what? It could just be that it goes back. If they were staying up till 12 o'clock, okay, move it back to 10 or even 11. Go back an hour each week. But the idea of getting them structured into a bedtime pattern where you've got to go to bed so that you can get up so that you can go to school. Even if you're homeschooling, it's even more important if you're homeschooling, is to get them into this structure of, okay, I've got to get up at 8 o'clock like I would for normal school, and shower and eat my breakfast and get ready for school for the day. So the number one thing is getting their sleeping routines in check. You've got to do that. And honestly, I don't know why parents wouldn't want to. The earlier you can get them to bed, the more time you can have for yourself. So this is just the reality of it. How's your allergies? You okay?
I don't have allergies.
Okay. So another thing we can do is create a cozy like homework space for your student. Your student has to know, your child has to know that there's a certain place in the house that is designated for learning. I have a picture there. Can we put my pictures to go with this, Mr. Production Manager? Because I'm not always cute to look at. This girl looks pretty comfortable. Doesn't she look like she's having a great time doing her homework?
I don't think she's doing her homework.
I don't think she's doing. She's probably like on roadblocks or talking to her friends. But regardless, it's cozy. Make sure that their study area is clear of clutter. Pencils, pens, papers. You know how many times we go into our students' houses and they don't have nothing? They have an eraser from the end of the pencil they want to use that's like this small. Can't do that. Make sure they have a cozy spot to sit. This young lady looks happy. She's surrounded by books. This isn't real. This wouldn't happen. But, you know, like, at least we understand the visual. Create an environment for your student to learn. And listen, something else parents have to understand is we are now learning at this point your child's personality. So they may not always want to be in the same place to study at this all the time. So remember, if your child is doing something and it comes to school, it doesn't matter where it is, let them do it. It could be on the front porch. It could be the kitchen counter. It could be the bedroom floor. Sometimes parents are like, oh no, sit up. You got to sit up straight. No. If they're getting their work done, let them do it. Okay? Like, yes, there needs to be like a time where you sit up. But if they're getting it done, sitting on a yoga ball, it doesn't matter. As long as they're getting work done, let them do it. Limit all distractions, which means you may need to not have them in the same area as their devices.
Yes, especially.
There might be a time, parents, yes, that dreaded time where they have a meltdown and you don't know what to do. When you take their devices from them, let them understand that, you know what? This is what breaks are for. Let them understand how the world looks. You've got to learn how to give yourself breaks, and the breaks can be when you can go on your devices, right?
That's right.
But before you get your devices, my young one, you've got to do like 2-3 hours of work. Because I think it's good to have balance, right? So let them know that they'll have the option of doing whatever they want for an hour, but you got to do like 3 hours of work to get that 1 hour of play. You can't be playing for 6 hours on your device. That doesn't work. Parents, you've got to take control at this point. Be mindful of lighting. Making sure the lighting's good in wherever you are. Natural lighting is the best. So where you set up your child's study area, trying to make sure that there's like plugs around, make sure that there's good lighting. These things are all important. I know it may seem like, but you'll understand the benefits. Again, it's providing that structure, okay? And for our parents who, when your students start going back to school, something that I've observed and Dave has observed, you've got to check your child back. That backpack is like the land of lost grades, okay? All grades end up in a backpack. It's like the graveyard of grades. That's where you're going to find like 90% of your child's work, because what they do is they get it from their teacher, and at the end of the day, they shove it in their backpack. And when they get home, they're like, we're home. Bag drop off. All their devices are there. TV is there. Everything is there. Parent, you got to grab that knapsack, open it up, stick your hand in and pull everything out and look at each piece of paper. Yes, my dear, it is a responsibility, but children are a responsibility. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty much done, but I hope that was helpful. I kind of went off, but I'm just going off of things I've seen. Again, these are our future leaders. We have to set the tone for them. Even though we're going through chaos, we can't be chaotic and let them see us just being chaotic. They're looking at us. They're studying us. Parents, this is what they do. They look at you. So take control. When we come back, guess what time it is? And we can't even tell. You see my shoulders moving?
Yeah, I do.
Because in my mind, like, it's Bacchanal.
It's Bacchanal. You're punished.
Yes. When we come back, guys, Carnival weekend. I know, it doesn't feel like it. See you soon.
Yeah, well, let me start by saying I am not anti-vaccine. People call me anti-vaccine because it's a way of discrediting me or marginalizing me.
Yes.
I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I want to have safe vaccines. I want vaccines that are tested the way that other medical products have to be tested. Vaccines are the only medical product that are exempt from safety testing. There's a long history of medical racism. all of the researchers told them to get all of their information on the black boys, bring them to a conference room in CBC headquarters in Atlanta. And they did so. And when they walked through the conference room, they saw 4 big blue garbage cans there. And they were ordered to destroy all the data in those garbage cans. People with African blood react differently to vaccines than people Caucasian blood. They're much more sensitive to antigens. They need half the antigen that a Caucasian needs. And yet, it's a one-size-fits-all program. Maybe that some Africans could benefit from vaccines, but it's clearly true that African Americans are disproportionately injured by vaccines. And, again, people need to do their own research.
We gon' make them jump, we gon' make them turn up, we gon' make them whine, we gon' make them free up. It's the face of Bacchanal, in the sweet botanical, this carnival. I want you to find your ways, everybody on stage, oh Lord, oh. If you're coming down from the mountain, oh God, oh. When the rhythm beating in tongue, see me jumping on, the savannah grass, the savannah grass. You could see it already past waves, oh Lord, oh. When the people tell you.
Oh, we are back. We are definitely back. Just one of those days, you know what I mean?
Well, it's one of those years, I think. I don't think it's just one of those days. Welcome back to A Better Tomorrow, guys. So I was told to remind you guys about the interview, right? Right, Grant?
Yeah, they just tuned in and they saw the commercial.
Okay. I'm gonna get that after again, and we'll repeat it once Grant tells me exactly what he wants me to say.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, I don't know, I don't get it. You
Huh?
try to tell me, and then
And then we're here.
They just tuned in and they saw the commercial and they tuned in with Robert Kennedy.
Yes.
I know the article's coming out Wednesday and the full interview will be released Wednesday.
Oh, let me get it now. So I want to do the stinger again?
Stop it. I think we've already tried that one already.
So if you were just tuning in now, you just saw the Robert Kennedy commercial. If you haven't, you can go back and watch it. And we were reminded to tell you guys that the article is coming out on Wednesday, August 5th, Toronto Caribbean newspaper. And the video will be out not too long after. Same day. So the video will be slotted into the article so you guys can actually watch the entire video. Great information. Don't miss it. Gotta say that. But I was kind of in my head, I was following the video and I was trying to and there's this.
Do your best Carabana move.
I can't. That's not my best Carabana move, but
It's one of them.
So Toronto Carnival canceled for the first time in 52 years. These are just some headlines that we saw. Masquerade band leaders say the coronavirus pandemic made canceling the 2020 Toronto Caribbean Carnival unavoidable. This is what we were hearing back in March, April. Mm-hmm. And people were devastated. We were like, no, this is all we have. This is our last hurrah before winter hits. So, do you remember how you felt? What did you feel when you heard that it was canceled?
I thought it was done probably a little bit prematurely. To be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I think so, especially now since Ontario Place has just been given money to hold events.
Right.
I feel
Canada's Wonderland is asking to open now as well. So
I think we could have done something, but you know what? Because I understand, I think in that point though, everyone was just so afraid. We didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So everyone has gone on this virtual route.
Right.
Okay. And that's what Toronto Carnival did. So now that we have small groups of people able to gather, this weekend is going to be, so this is what I still think that we can make a party. Because this weekend, there's going to be enough people having barbecues.
right.
Right? We're allowed up to 10 people. So you're going to be having family events. right? Yes, it's never going to be the same. And I spoke with Anissa, so she is the CEO, and she told me, she's the CEO of, Toronto Caribbean Carnival.
Okay.
And she said that, yes, like that's been the number one thing from people is that it's not the same, it's not the same, it's not the same. Of course it's not the same. This is Carnival. Like, this is what we were getting prepared for. I was driving on the highway today, and I'm like, we'd be seeing a lot more cars, and a lot of cars with like American license plates on it. Yes, like there'd be a flood of like Americans into the city. So believe me when I say Toronto has been this is why we named the show the way we did. This entire pandemic has crippled us. Toronto has gotten hit this year. We can't even deny it. Like, this brought in a lot of money. Toronto Caribbean Carnival brought in a lot of money to this city and gone. So what they've had to do this year is they've changed things up a little bit. So this year they did some online things. I know they did some symposiums. I think I have a picture of one of them they did. It's called Free Up Yourself. Oh, no, this is just the virtual. We're going to get here, but that's fine. So this is happening tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But this, yes. So they had symposiums this year. They had like different things each day. They had Health Focused Wellness Wednesday. They had Carnival Spice and Soca Size on that. They also did the Free Up Symposium. So they had some scholars talking about different things. So they had to make it different this year. I would love to hear some feedback. This is an engagement news show, so I'd love to hear from anyone who participated in any of these events, what it was like for you, and, you know, to kind of tell us, let us know. Though this week, we're dealing with now, tonight, they're actually going to be streaming from a radio station in Grenada.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And they'll be having a party with Grenadian artists this year. And it's called a Jab Jab Party.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And that's going to be today, that I'm guessing this evening and through most of the day. And then tomorrow, the actual event, this is when everyone would have their outfits on. Everyone would be getting ready. Mass camps would be getting ready. It's going to be a virtual experience on the road. And you can actually, they said, still, anyone who's done their own costume, you can do a do-it-yourself costume. This is what they're doing right now, okay? This is what they're doing. And you can go online and go onto the website. I believe it's, let me tell you exactly what it is. Hashtag, give me a second. Maybe you can find it for me. Oh, hashtag MyTorontoCarnival. And tell us, and tell them, and tell us too, what does carnival mean to you? Again, you're going to be, again, in a way, they're kind of bringing carnival to you. So if you're home, at least one thing is that you'll have music. You don't have to worry about a DJ. If you're having a small event, just go to Toronto Caribbean Carnival. Go to the website. Music's going to be playing all day, 13 hours tomorrow. I just see you shaking your head, Dave. You don't look impressed at all.
You know,
at all. I know.
Here's one thing that with the whole symposium thing aspect of it now, maybe this could be something that could be incorporated once Caribana returns to its regular form. Right, and I say
regular
form? Yes, regular form. When I say that in regards to this, it seems, of course, you know, they had to put on their creative hats to try to go ahead and bring in some new but still familiar events. Right, of course, the making of the costume, that soca size, the exercise and stuff, right? So that means, you know, these are, I guess, like small things they can go ahead and add continue,
to it, to add to the experience,
right? As opposed to, of course, like the band launch, right? Of course, you know, the King and Queen, you know, right? Done by was it?
Those are so much fun.
Right? Which they are. I mean, of course. Right? There's nothing like Caribana in North America. It brings in, of course, the most revenue whatsoever.
Period.
Right?
Period. We have one of the best out of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like
experiences, right? So that means, you know, it is a great loss for us as a culture.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, hopefully it'll go ahead and allow the event organizers to go ahead and actually reshape things.
We have to.
Right.
And that's the thing is, it's hard to. I can only imagine the difficulty trying to navigate that space right now. Like, that's a huge event to be like, what do we do?
Right.
You know, like.
Yeah, it is. It is tough.
But things aren't getting any better anywhere else. Thanks, Corona.
All right. So I received an actual article through Amari, and big up yourself, Amari, from Organic Ganja. So Wray and Nephew, our rum drinkers out there, right? They've actually
The bacteria killer. They should have used this for COVID.
I think so, right? Fight spirits.
It
right?
fights spirits. It fights
Kills-
COVID.
There you go,
all
right?
bacteria. All Babylon. Everything.
Thank you. All right, so they've announced an actual closure of another Appleton Sugar Factory.
Oh boy.
Right? This one, in fact, is the Appleton Estates Sugar Factory in St. Elizabeth. Have you been to St. Elizabeth? You've
I
been,
have.
right?
I have
The
family
last-
in St.
the-
Elizabeth.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Very pretty. Right? So, but before
Red
actually
sun.
closing, they're actually offering an actual separation package to the 370 employees that
Okay.
have been impacted. So, yesterday's confirmation of the closure follows the start of consultations with all stakeholders. A date on the closure will be announced after further consultations with the union. The next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August the 5th, when the unions and their delegates will meet with J Wray Nephew executives. That picture right there that we have up is of the chairman, Clement Jimmy Lawrence, who disclosed that the management of Appleton will be divested from Sugar Estate in Westmoreland, which is a third-party company with knowledge of sugar operations. So, although, they're closing one and they've closed another, yes. It's
You're
back.
live.
Stop,
You're
stop, before you break something. Stop. Stop.
There's a bug in here.
Stop.
It's gonna fly in my.
Well, drink it all now. All right. So, as much as they're closing, looks like by means, they still have some bases of operation still going forward, right? I know they've closed not only this one, but they've closed an estate belonging to, with the name attached to Joy Spence.
Yeah,
Right, so-
and I went to that one.
Yes, right. So by means, for those who don't know, Joy Spence, like she's one of the
The rum connoisseur.
yes, the world's renowned.
She's amazing. She has such a great personality. I met her twice, and she's a really nice woman. Very nice woman. That's too bad, man.
Yeah, very much, However, though, of course, it wasn't just COVID that really impacted. They've been saying that they were running at a deficit for the past decade.
Okay, so COVID has nothing to do with that.
No, it just added on top of it.
Made it worse, yeah.
Yes, right? So, I mean, it's sad. But then again, this has been the reality, for some of our of course, large establishments that are the smaller ones who are out there as well, right? Just to continue on here, so they had reported an actual annual losses of 12 million, right, over the decade, right? So I mean, so could you imagine losing? I can't even imagine losing $1,000. You know what I'm saying? In losses, right?
Forget 1,000.
They've
For
lost-
a lot of us, it's like $100. We're like, Lord.
12 million annually for the past
12 million.
decade, right? So these sustained losses have forced the company to take the necessary action or course of action. Sugar production over the years has been dismal for the company and the sugar industry, right? In a recent statement, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture, and Fisheries revealed that from 2020 Sugar Corp, only 44,000 tons of sugar were produced. So is that now it's a declining trend? I mean, do we need so much sugar? I mean, does Jamaica now need to go ahead and actually turn its focus elsewhere? Stop it. Come on, here, let me go ahead and hold on to this.
I just want to kill this thing. It's going to look, it's going to fly in my drink.
Well, you know what? You're not supposed to have it then, since
Sorry.
you didn't drink it all. All right, so according to the Sugar Industry Inquiry Commission report of 2010, between 200,000 and 300,000 tons of raw sugar are required to keep the industry viable. So with them only producing 40,000 and needing anywhere between 200 to 300,000 tons, we can see in regards to where now a shift has taken place,
Yeah.
right? In 2018, J Wray Nephew was forced to close its Holland and Casa Miranda sugar estates. So by means they've been doing
This has been happening.
yeah.
It's been they've been closing slowly over time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and as I mentioned before, right, it isn't just because of coronavirus, because now, of course, bars cannot be opened unless, of course, here in Ontario, where the liquor stores are essential.
They are sending you liquor here and telling you first world problems. There, we have first world problems because in Canada,
Oh, man.
for those who are not living in Canada right now, they will deliver liquor to you,
Yes, they will.
which depresses your immune system.
Stop. All right. So
Can I repeat this, please?
Well, can I finish? We'll finish, okay? Let's finish up because I know you want to. I'm sure they got the message already, right?
Okay.
All right. So, Chairman Lawrence continued to state here that we will continue to support community-based initiatives with projects and educational programs within the affected communities. And he's speaking, of course, with respect to coronavirus and, of course, the closure of the estates and, of course, everybody who's been impacted, right? So it's a big blow for the industry. Stop it, because I know what you're trying to do, right? Come on, stay focused with me.
I'm focused.
Are you?
Yes.
Should I just have you go ahead and read the next thing for me?
I'm focused.
Right. Yeah. Like, it's a huge blow, definitely, to the industry.
And there's a lot of stuff happening in Jamaica. I just found out, I got a message today. This will add to it. I heard that they're bringing in workers from out of the country to work at the resorts and stuff like that. And people in Jamaica who these jobs belong to are not getting these jobs. There's a lot going on, but again, looking for the next edition. All that's going to be in the next edition. I just got that like a few hours ago. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more research to see exactly what's going on there. But there's a lot of stuff happening in Jamaica.
That's not new.
Jamaica's like remember, we're a brand. Jamaica's a brand. Jamaica's not just an island, okay? All the other islands are just islands. Jamaica's a brand. So there's I'm about to get like shots fired from all corners for saying that. Okay, sorry. Is there anything else you got to say on this?
No.
Okay.
Since you want to go ahead and insert.
Well, we're going to end with some really good news. So we're going to come back to Toronto. This is why I want to kill this thing, because it's going to try to fly up my nose. I'm going to look like an idiot trying to talk to people here. So technology brands, like it seems like it's a really, honestly, I'm going to say this. In North America, it's a really good time if you're African, because they're getting rid of all things that are offensive to us. All these companies want to hire us all of a sudden. All these things are happening. And technology now is also getting involved. Mm-hmm. So there's some technology things happening. There's something happening with that. And I believe we're going to talk about this Marcus Garvey scholarship.
We'll see you guys after the break.
We'll see you after the break.
Yeah, well, let me start by saying I am not anti-vaccine. People call me anti-vaccine because it's a way of discrediting me or marginalizing me.
Yes.
But I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I want to have safe vaccines. I want vaccines that are tested the way that other medical products have to be tested. Vaccines are the only medical product that are exempt from safety testing. There's a long history of medical racism. All of the researchers told them to get all of their information on the black boys, bring them to a conference room in CBC headquarters in Atlanta. And they did so, and when they walked through the conference room, they saw 4 big blue garbage cans there. And they were ordered to destroy all the data in those garbage cans. People with African blood react differently to vaccines than people Caucasian blood. They're much more sensitive to antigens. They need half the antigen that a Caucasian needs, and yet it's a one-size-fits-all program. Maybe that some Africans could benefit from vaccines, but it's clearly true that African Americans are disproportionately injured by vaccines, and again, people need to do their own research.
Welcome back, everybody. We didn't get anything fancy again.
It's okay. Next time. For the next segment.
There is no next segment. It's the last segment. Welcome, guys. Welcome back. So, before we go into this last segment, I want to again speak to our viewers. Like, our show is a little, yes, it's not very conventional. Okay.
Very nice.
It isn't. It's not. We don't con anyone here. We're bringing you news. but we want to bring you engaging news, and we want you to engage with us. So one thing we really want from our community and from all of our viewers is for you to definitely do a thumbs up, do a like, share this out. There's something in here that's going to affect somebody.
Plus, we want to hear from you guys.
We want to hear from you. What news do you have? You know what? There are things happening to everyone across this world, and we want to report it. It doesn't have, not everything has to be on CNN. There's things that are happening to people all over this world that are not making CNN that are just as important, like this fly, this fruit fly that keeps coming over to me and tries to fly. It's so unprofessional, but I don't know what to do about it. And that's another thing about the show, is that it's not like tailored and sculptured and edited, okay? There's things, real things happening here, like bugs and stuff.
Keep doing it. I'm feeling a gentle breeze.
So, all right. Now that we've done that, let's end the show with some positive news. There's some good things happening throughout all of this. I don't know where they're finding the money. But Prime Minister of Finance and Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark.
From where?
Jamaica.
Say it.
Jamaica.
Yes.
Jamaica, yes. We're back in Jamaica. Yes, we are.
Yeah, man.
They've launched the Marcus Garvey Public Sector Graduate Scholarship Program, which will offer 30 graduate scholarships each year for the next 5 years for public sector employees. So the program has been estimated to cost it has an estimated cost over the 5-year period of 1 billion Jamaican dollars. That's what the J in the front was, right?
That's right.
Okay. And the minister said in a press release that the scholarship will be tenable at the University of the West Indies, Mona and the University of Technology in Jamaica, Johns Hopkins University, and Harvard University in the U.S., as well as King College London and Oxford University in the United Kingdom. So that's offering stuff to us in the diaspora.
Triangular, right?
That's kind of cool, right? So the Scholarship Selection Committee will be chaired by Government General Sir Patrick Allen. He looks so astute. Look at this man.
Yes.
So the Marcus Garvey Public Sector Graduate Scholarship, as first announced by Clark during his 2021 budget presentation in March, was conceptualized as a strategic human capital development narrative or initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
The scholarship offers public sector employees the opportunity to obtain a postgraduate degree at the master's level from appropriately accredited universities.
Which I think is I think this is one of the, people understand this here is probably, if anything we've talked about, is something I want to get out there. This is for anyone working in the public sector who can attend these schools. You can get is it $1 million school? What is it?
It's $1 billion over the next 5 years.
Over the next 5 years.
Right, so.
That's so I'm guessing they're handing this out to a few people.
Remember, it's 30 scholarships, right, each
30
year. Right.
Each year. That's the billion, yes.
Not everybody, by means. I'm sure there'd be some sort of qualification measures, but at the end of the day.
If you can fit in that,
go for it.
That's awesome. So, President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, O'Neill Grant, in endorsing the program at a launch, encouraged his membership to apply and use this scholarship, which is what we're saying. This is a great opportunity to use a scholarship to take bigger steps in your professional development. This is an awesome opportunity. And the thing I like about it, it's not limited to just people in Jamaica. If you're in the UK, if you're in the States, you can attend Harvard. Listen, you can get money to attend Harvard. I might go for this scholarship. Can I go for it?
For more information, visit.
That wasn't an answer.
I know. MarcusGarveyScholarship.gov.jm.
Can I go for the scholarship?
We'll talk about it later.
I want to do my PhD in psychology because I feel like I need to. So can I do the scholarship? Can I go to Harvard for a couple of years? Will you mind?
Did you want to start the next story?
That's Dave's way of saying no. Okay, you're not going nowhere, especially not Harvard.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to.
Thank you. So, Black Professionals in Tech Network, or the acronym BPTN. Yes, the largest network.
Huge.
The largest network of Black tech in this country, and meaning here in Canada, right? Has stood together with leading Canadian companies to create a more reflective, supportive, and transformational space for Black tech professionals in Canada.
Yes.
Right. Likana Olawoye, and I hope I said that correctly. He says the following: We are delighted to partner with Canadian companies who have stood up together to move the needle in tech space.
That's him, Mr.
Right.
Likan.
Yes, he's the founder and CEO of BPTN. Tech will lead the future economy, and these companies are leading the way for tech. Right. Now, of course, I'm sure he's had numerous conversations with other companies who pretty much said, yeah, no problem. Of course, we're on board, but by means, didn't do anything. Right, and that has led him to say the following, right? We were very wary of companies who just come and say, we just want to do an event with you, right? Clearly, that's a brand play, and we're not interested in that, Mr. Olawoye
Absolutely.
said. Right?
Agree with him.
On the partnership event announcement, he added, these are the companies who are doing the work with black tech, with the black tech ecosystem. Other companies should take that approach. Now, automatically, when I heard this, right, it just brought me back to, of course, what we discussed last week with the gentleman, Black North Initiative.
Black North Initiative.
Yes, by means, I forget his name. I believe it's Wes.
I cut it out.
Yes, I know. I realize that. I apologize. She cut out my notes. Right. However, though,
They were too long.
it's okay. It's all right. But Black North Initiative, by means, did the same thing in regards to
You
now.
should have remembered the name.
Well, I did. Right. Stop it.
Sorry, Dave.
Are
So
you?
who are they doing business with? Let's just go quickly through the names of the place. We don't need to go into all they said because everyone has something to say.
Yeah, I know.
So let's just go through the names of who's
TD,
working.
who's been a partner with BPTN for, I believe it's been about 2 years now.
Bell,
Bell Canada, Hootsuite, Rogers,
Wrangle IO,
yes, Top Hat,
Point Click Care.
right, and MARS or Mars Discovery District.
So they will all be working with them, and their actual event is coming up.
October, I believe.
Yeah, Christina, our technology writer, she is going to be hopefully attending it this year, so we can have more of the inside scoop of what's happening. That'll be kind of cool. I got to get her set up with that. But technology is the future, my people. You can see, apparently, if you're into technology, you can become a doctor like Bill Gates and create things. Why are you laughing, Grant? This is what's happening.
Oh, boy.
If you are in technology, because he's a technology expert, that's his job, Microsoft. That's what he does. He's not a doctor, but somehow he might create vaccine and knows all about controlling populations. And so I feel, this is a feeling,
Okay.
that if more of us get into technology, then maybe we can also do the same thing. We can just automatically become doctors and start being able to do the same things that he is. I'm making a point here, just so everyone understands if no one gets it. But good for you guys, BPTN.
Yeah,
Very proud. I'm glad that we're getting involved in this space.
Yeah, for sure.
This is awesome. So guys, that's it. That's our show for today. I hope we were educational.
I hope you guys took something away from this.
I know I'm stupid, so I must have been a little bit entertaining. But you can let me know that. And we are looking forward to hear from you because we want to get the news from you so that we can report this news to everybody. If you have information you need to share, definitely our links are in the YouTube bio, the little write-up that we have there. You can get in contact with Dave. You can reach out to me. Notice I said contact for you, Dave. And we will make sure that we can get some of the news that you sent to us on. If not on here, definitely you will find it on Toronto Caribbean newspaper. Anything that comes into me, I really try to get it to our fan page. So head there. If it's something that's a video or so, we'll get it on the MyTCNTV network page. Because again, we collab here. But get anything to us. We will do our best to get it out there, guys. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not watching it now, thank you for watching the replay of this. I sent it out to a lot of people, and they're like, we can't watch the live, Simone, but we can watch the replay. So I'm like, okay, that's good enough. That works.
We'll see y'all next week, family.
That's it? You have nothing else to say? You have
Nothing else. Peace and love.
Okay, bye. I'm getting shut out. Bye, guys.
let me start by saying I am not anti-vaccine. People call me anti-vaccine because it's a way of discrediting me or marginalizing me.
Yes.
I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I want to have safe vaccines. I want vaccines that are tested the way that other medical products have to be tested. Vaccines are the only medical product that are exempt from safety testing. There's a long history of medical racism. All of the researchers told them to get all of their information on the black boys, bring them to a conference room in CDC headquarters in Atlanta. And they did so, and when they walked through the conference room, they saw 4 big blue garbage cans there. And they were ordered to destroy all the data in those garbage cans. People with African blood react differently to vaccines than people Caucasian blood. They're much more sensitive to antigens. They need half the antigen that a Caucasian needs, and yet it's a one-size-fits-all program. Maybe that some Africans could benefit from vaccines, but it's clearly true that African Americans are disproportionately injured by vaccines, and again, people need to do their own research.